going to talk about the Team USA snub of Caitlin Clark and a couple of different ESPN personalities. A. Smith coming out and just crushing Dawn Staley over her comments involving Caitlin Clark's absence on Team USA.
Stephen A. Smith just dropped a bomb on Team USA. He said leaving Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster was boring and a huge mistake. But that's not even the craziest part. Let's break down why he's so fired up. Let's talk numbers because they're insane. Caitlin Clark's career is like a highlight reel that never ends. She broke the NCAA Division I scoring record, men's or women's. That's right, she outscored everyone. And assists? She's dishing them out like candy on Halloween. Clark finished her college career with over 3,900 points and 1,000 assists. No one else has ever done that. Not in women's basketball, not in men's basketball, just Caitlin Clark. But here's where it gets wild. Clark isn't just dominating on the court, she's filling arenas like nobody's business. You know what's crazier? Clark is pulling in over 16,000 fans per game. That's the highest in the WNBA. People are showing up in droves to watch her play. It's like every game is a rock concert and Clark is the headliner. Now let's compare that to Team USA's recent game. How many fans do you think showed up? 10,000? 8,000? Try 4,500. That's it. Team USA, the best of the best in women's basketball, and they can't even fill half the seats Clark is bringing in. It's like watching a blockbuster movie in an empty theater. Something's not adding up here. But wait, it gets even crazier. While Team USA is struggling to fill seats, other countries are packing arenas. We're talking 27,000 fans for Spain and 21,000 for China. What's going on here? How is it that other countries are drawing massive crowds while Team USA is playing to a half-empty house? The answer is staring us right in the face. It's simple. Star power matters. And right now, Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in women's basketball. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. People aren't just coming to watch a game, they're coming to see Clark make history. Every time she steps on the court, there's a chance you'll see something you've never seen before. Think about it. When was the last time you saw a player who could shoot from practically half court like it's nothing? Clark's range is ridiculous. She's pulling up from the logo and draining threes like she's playing a video game, and her passing, it's like she's got eyes in the back of her head. She's finding teammates before they even know they're open. But it's not just about her skills, it's about the excitement she brings to the game. When Clark has the ball, everyone in the arena is on the edge of their seat. Will she pull up for a deep three? Will she make an impossible pass? Will she drive to the hoop and score over players twice her size? Every possession is a potential highlight reel moment, and that's what Team USA is missing out on. They just passed on their golden ticket to packed arenas and excited fans. Imagine Clark doing her thing on the Olympic stage, the crowd going wild every time she touches the ball. The entire world watching as she breaks records and makes impossible plays. That's the kind of excitement that grows the sport. Instead, Team USA is sticking with the same old playbook. Don't get me wrong, they've got some great players, but where's the spark? Where's the player that's going to make people who've never watched women's basketball before tune in? That's what Clark brings to the table. All right, let's talk about the bigger picture here. This Caitlin Clark situation isn't just about winning games or filling seats. It's about growing women's basketball globally. Think about it. When you've got a player who's breaking records left and right, pulling in massive crowds, and making highlight reels every game, that's not just a player, that's a brand, and brands sell. Imagine Clark on Team USA doing her thing on the Olympic stage. We're talking millions of eyes from around the world watching her drain threes from the logo, make impossible passes, and light up the scoreboard. That's the kind of exposure that can take women's basketball to a whole new level. But don't just take my word for it. Even South Carolina's coach, Dawn Staley, is saying Team USA messed up. She thinks Clark would have been picked if they waited longer. That's huge. When a coach of Staley's caliber is questioning the decision, you know something's off. Here's the real kicker. Team USA isn't just missing out on Clark, they're missing out on a chance to change the game. Imagine the impact of having the most exciting player in college basketball history on the Olympic stage. We're talking about inspiring a whole new generation of players and fans. You know what's wild? While Team USA is playing it safe, other countries are going all in on their young stars. Look at France with Victor Wembanyama. They're building their whole team around this 20-year-old phenom. Why? Because they know star power matters. Now, I'm not saying Clark is the only great player out there. Team USA has some serious talent, but Clark brings something different. She's not just a great player, she's a game changer. Every time she steps on the court, there's a chance you'll see something you've never seen before. And let's talk about social media for a second. Clark's highlights go viral every single game. That's free marketing for women's basketball. In a world where attention is currency, Clark is printing money every time she plays. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about one tournament. It's about the future of women's basketball. And right now, that future is looking shaky without stars like Caitlin Clark leading the charge. Think about it. How many young girls are going to miss out on seeing their new hero play on the biggest stage in the world? How many potential fans are going to skip watching because the most exciting player in the game isn't there? It's not just about the games. It's about the stories. People love underdog stories, and Clark's journey from Iowa to the top of the basketball world is exactly that. It's the kind of story that could captivate a global audience and bring new fans to the sport. And here's something else to consider. The Olympics are changing. They're adding new sports, trying to appeal to younger audiences. You know what appeals to younger audiences? Players like Caitlin Clark. She's not just a basketball player, she's an entertainer. Now, I'm not saying Team USA should just pick players based on popularity, but when you've got a player who's dominating on the court and bringing in fans like crazy, that's a no-brainer. So what's the fix? It's time for Team USA to shake things up. They need to update their selection criteria, and fast. We're not just talking about picking the best players anymore, it's about finding those game changers who can grow the sport. Players like Caitlin Clark who bring excitement every time they step on the court. Think about it. When was the last time you saw a player who could single-handedly fill an arena? Clark's doing that right now in the WNBA. She's not just playing the game, she's reinventing it. Every no-look pass, every logo three, it's like watching basketball evolve in real time. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Clark's too young, too inexperienced for the Olympics. But have you seen her play? This girl is rewriting the record books and bringing in fans like crazy. She's not just ready for the big stage, she's been owning it since day one in college. Remember what Stephen A. Smith said? Marketing matters in everything, promotion matters in everything. He's right on the money. Clark isn't just a player, she's a walking, talking marketing campaign for women's basketball. Every game she plays, every highlight she creates, that's free publicity for the sport. Imagine Team USA with Caitlin Clark. Picture those packed arenas, not just in America, but around the world. Think about the excitement in the air every time she touches the ball. That's the kind of energy that turns casual viewers into diehard fans. That's how you grow a sport. And it's not just about Clark, it's about embracing the future of women's basketball. It's about recognizing that sometimes raw talent and star power can be just as valuable as years of experience. Look at what other countries are doing. France is building their whole team around Victor Wembanyama, and he's only 20. They know that star power matters on the global stage. You know what's crazy? Team USA could still make this happen. They could still embrace young talent like Clark. They could still be the team that grows the sport and dominates on the court, but they need to act fast before the next generation of stars slips through their fingers. Think about the missed opportunities. How many young girls are going to miss out on seeing their new hero play on the biggest stage in the world? How many potential fans are going to skip watching because the most exciting player in the game isn't there? It's not just about winning medals anymore. It's about winning hearts and minds. It's about creating those unforgettable Olympic moments that inspire the next generation. And let's be real, who's more likely to create those moments? A seasoned veteran playing it safe, or a young phenom like Clark who plays every game like it's her last? And now, I'm not saying Team USA should just pick players based on popularity, but when you've got a player who's dominating on the court and bringing in fans like crazy, that's a no-brainer. It's like having a secret weapon and deciding not to use it. And here's something else to consider. The Olympics are changing. They're adding new sports, trying to appeal to younger audiences. You know what appeals to younger audiences? Players like Caitlin Clark. She's not just a basketball player, she's an entertainer. She's the kind of player who makes you stop scrolling through your phone and actually watch the game. Let's talk about social media for a second. Clark's highlights go viral every single game. That's free marketing for women's basketball. In a world where attention is currency, Clark is printing money every time she plays. Imagine that on an Olympic scale. We're talking about potentially millions of new fans for women's basketball. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about the stories. People love underdog stories, and Clark's journey from Iowa to the top of the basketball world is exactly that. It's the kind of story that could captivate a global audience and bring new fans to the sport.